Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Note Closure Show. As always, Scott Carson, your host. I'm excited to be here today with you guys, and I think I've got some really great content that I think is going to save you all a lot of toil, stress, things like that out there with some things that we've just developed here recently. Well, I won't say we developed, we just basically came to an understanding on some things. And it actually came from me being invited out to a networking event. I've got a friend here locally in town who's a mortgage broker, and he asked me if I wanted to go to lunch with him to his networking event. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'd be glad to go with. So I go with him. He brings me as a guest to his BNI networking event, which is Business Networkers International, talking about the real estate and talking about some of the podcasting stuff that we do. And so I go, and I'm kind of surprised for a couple of reasons. I get there, great group. It's over lunch. Roughly 40 people, 45 people there, and everybody's going around to introduce themselves. And as a guest, I get up and introduce, kind of talk about what I do. And what was amazed is my friend handed me this placemat, and I flipped the placemat over, and it had everybody's contact information, their name, company, their focus or their niche inside the club, their email address, and their phone number. And I'm kind of sitting there cracking up. And it's been years since I've been to a BNI event. All right, I used to go to one over a decade ago here in Austin, but with obviously the travel and doing things more so outside of Texas, it didn't really make sense for me to join a local group that I was going to miss more than 6 times in 6 months, because they allow you to basically miss once a month, and then or have guests represent you. Once every you have 3 within a 6-month period, it's 3 misses and 3 people sit in your place, but they want you to go too. So I found out, but anyway. I'm sitting there and I'm like, wait a second. So what's the cost? Like, basically it's about $700 to join. It's about $800 to join, $199 and $599 for the first year. And then of course you're paying for lunches or, I think some of the BNI groups, when I was talking to the person that runs it, was saying that somewhere between 15 and like $25 for lunch basically, or breakfast if you're going. I think they only meet Tuesday through Fridays. But anyway, one of the great things is inside this group, they had the rehab guy, the professional contractor, they had the HVAC, they had the inspector, obviously realtor, which is pretty easy to come by for a lot of us, but a lot of the professionals that we're using, not only in traditional real estate, but we're also using in note investing. Hey, I need a realtor to pull some comps, or I need some stuff. And they're meeting every week. They're meeting it either in the mornings or the afternoons weekly. So they're meeting 4 times a week and they're sharing references. And I had the big light go off in my head because the lady asked me, so, well, how did you were invited? Who invited you? And I said, my buddy, Boyd. And then they're like, oh, great. Didn't know if you saw the website. I was like, wait a second. What do you mean the website? She goes, oh, yeah. If you wanted to go to other BNI events, you can go to the website and find where all the chapters are and see all the members that they have. And I was like, ding, ding, ding. All right. I was like, and then one of the guys said they got 5,000 chapters. And I was like, that makes so much sense in joining a group like this. If I was doing more stuff here locally, I would be joining a group here to find people to help me with my local real estate stuff, my handyman, my contractors, plumbing, HVAC, all those vendors in roughly one spot. Now, why is that different than just talking to some local person out there? Some people are like, well, I don't want to hire a contractor who is, has time to lunch, 1 day a week. I want them to be working. I'm like, that makes sense. But it also, there's a little bit of the word I'm looking for here, I guess you say, is professionalism, because they are paying for referrals. They're part of a group. They're, referring business back and forth. They're inviting people. And so I think that's probably a better group than just reaching to any Tom, Dick, or Harry out there. Or Susan, let's be politically correct with both sexes there, either guy or gals, for any vendors that you're using in your note or real estate investing business. If you need something, I would probably say might be a better spot. We've always talked about using meetup groups as a great place, or going to your local real estate investing club. I still think that's a very valuable aspect of things. But one thing I would do is, if you're in an area or you're buying in an area, if you had a note in an area, because I've already reached out and done this in the last 2 days, is in areas where I needed help with. I just went on BNI and looked for a BNI networking club in that market. And then I reached out to the president or the person in charge of the event, or I looked to see, because all the BNI groups will give you the full contact or the member list of those paid members in a specific area and allow you to reach out with a phone number or an email address directly to that member to reach out for new business. And these are people looking for business, looking to referral stuff. So they know, like I'll give you an example. In the one I went, the local realtor referred the rehab crew out. They referred out the HVAC. They referred out the general contractor or the person to go do especially small tile work versus the big contracting size one. Get at it. And people were working together to share business. I was like, oh, that makes so much more sense than trying to hunt and peck and try to find individual people. Now, if you were on Note Night in America, if you listened to some of the newer episodes that we released a few weeks ago, we had Dickie Baldwin on from Baldwin Advisory Group about how to find realtors and some other things in there. And I still believe that's a very valuable asset for finding realtors, especially investor-friendly realtors, because not all realtors are created equal. That's the one thing I would maybe say. Most of your BNI realtors are probably your normal transactions, single family homes, buying, selling, and going that route. So they may have a referral to somebody, but still though, might be an opportunity for you to find somebody locally, at least have a contact and or have somebody they could refer it out to, so that's allowing them to refer business out and really be a win-win across the board for everybody involved. So that's one thing I think is a valuable tool to use in your markets. Like I'll give you an example. I jumped on and being here in Austin, Texas, I wanted to see how many groups were available when I looked at that stuff. And so I jumped on, took a look at, give me a second here. I have the thing pulled up. There's over 28 groups in Austin alone. Now, Austin's obviously a pretty big market. Now, I don't think there's be 28 groups in every city. There is actually, exactly 28 groups, and anywhere from 12 members to over 60, because they only allow one person of one niche inside each group if you don't know how BNI works. So that's the thing. They meet weekly. They're tracking referrals, tracking business closed across the place. They encourage you to visit once or twice. You're usually going to pay a fee at the door for breakfast or lunch or for the meeting space. I actually found out weird that there's a BNI group that meets in my office complex here. Didn't know about it, but they've been meeting for 6 months here, which is kind of a surprise. So lo and behold, might join that group. But anyway, I have yet to visit that. But anyway, what I want to get at is if you're in a bigger city or you're investing in a bigger city, that might make something that you might want a VA to do. You might want to have an assistant jump online and pull that information for you in those markets, because now you've got people that you could reach out to. Like I'll give you an example. Roughly here in the Austin, Texas market, there's roughly just about 800 people that are part of the BNI clubs, 28, 29 clubs here. And that's a substantial good list of people to network with. That's a substantial list of people here locally to build a network, or wherever your network is going to be at if you're investing in an area that you're not at. Might be an easy way for you to reach out to and go from there. So I just thought it was a valuable tool. I thought it was a valuable lead, a valuable asset for you guys that are listening out there in Note Nation. You can attend. Doesn't mean you have to sign up for things, but I won't be joining any, because the fact is I travel too much with what we got going on, and especially with the different things we've going on, buying and marketing, things like that. Probably will not make sense. Although you got to think about, hey, maybe I'll find a group, maybe I'll join a group, maybe I'll go to some of these other bigger groups and see how they are. It might make it worth it for referral business in some sort of fashion. Investors, because there was bankers there was mortgage officers there, loan originators, title people were also there. You name it, they were there. And so that's what I was like, man, it's been, like I said, a long time since I've been to a BNI club, and I have not been to a BNI group since I started doing the podcast or the videos, even before that. So it's well over 3-4 years, but thought it was a valuable tool for you all. And it's, for what some of us are paying for different things out there, it might actually be a more effective marketing piece. If you're going to drop, $700-800 or $1,000, all you need is, now you've got a Rolodex of business cards or list of those that do what you do or do what you need to be done. And who knows whether they can refer other things for you out there as well. Of course, there's other people in the groups. There was a Mary Kay lady there. There was an essential oils person. There was a wine boy, as he called himself, tasting. There was an executive business coach there. There's a variety of different people there as well that you may not be referring business back and forth, but you never know when you might need somebody and go from there. So I thought it valuable. I thought it worth enough to bring it up on this episode of the Note Closer Show. Now, what would I do? Well, the first thing I would do is I would go to BNI.com, and they'll type in an area. Like if I type in Austin, Texas, and it pulls up the full list of clubs that are available out there for you. Okay, totally full list of clubs. And then it gives you, when you type in, you hit on a specific club, you can click on that club thing, and then it pulls up the website for all the contacts that are there. And so a pretty relatively easy thing to do is to look at some. So let's do something. Let's just say I am buying something. Let's say Chicago, Illinois, even though I don't like Chirac. But let's say I'm going to find this chapter. So if you're not watching this video, I would go back in and watch the video. Or listen to this, because this is going to be on YouTube for us. And so I've shared my screen. I'm on BNI.com. Pretty simple. It says find a chapter. So I'll click on finding a chapter here. Give it a second. Enter location or postal code. So I'm just going to type in Chicago. And hit search. All right. So it pulls up. Oh, what's it doing here? Okay. No, I don't want, I want Austin, not Chicago. I'm sorry. I want Chicago, not Austin. There we go. So based on this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 1, 2, 3, 6. 25 groups, okay? 25 groups of BNI networking there. So if I click on one chapter detail here, BNI, second city, they say, and it's got 15 members. If I hit the visit the chapter, oh, I can see the leaders actually. I can see all the members here. So I can see the real estate. There's a real estate attorney here in Chicago, damage restoration. There's a sales coach, mortgage broker, chiropractor, event planner, handyman, property and casualty insurance, a banker, web design, attorney for litigation, accounting, personal injury, litigation, and then residential real estate as a member of this group right there. And the beautiful thing, if I click on one of these, let's just say the real estate attorney, it takes me over, what does it give me here? Nope, does not give me, I guess I have to join the website to take a look at it. Let me go back here and see if it pulls this up. Find a chapter. At least it gave me a name. It doesn't give me an email or contact, at least gives me a name that I can type in, gives me their name and contact. So that's a good thing. You can Google and find them and go from there. So pretty relatively easy website to work through. It does give you the leaders. So that might be something to work at. If I click on, let's see, view the website, the chapter website. No. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it does actually. Here's their name, phone number. It does give me oh, nice. Look at that. 15 members. If I click on send an email, it allows me to send an email message through the actual portal, which is kind of a cool thing. So it won't let you scrub information, but allows it to send you through the website, which is pretty freaking cool. So there you go, everybody. That's another resource for you guys to use to leverage besides meetup groups, besides local real estate investment clubs. I think this actually might be a better quality tool for finding professionals, because if they're paying marketing, they're paying to understand the value of networking, the value of repeat business. They're also going to want to make sure, especially on the contractor side, where we know that people can be sometimes shady, try to cut corners and stuff. They're probably going to be a little bit more expensive, but they're also probably going to be a higher value for what they do, because they are constantly getting business. And hey, cheap does not always mean equal the best. I think, as we all know out there, if you ever contracted with somebody for different things. So I would check this out. Pretty much a BNI group in pretty much every city for the most part that I saw, where I've looked at even some smaller areas. But I think this would be a very valuable tool for you to use or add to your due diligence, to your repertoire for assets that you take back. Actually, you know what? I've got a deal that I just took back. Just took back literally today. I just got, literally just got back. Wow, that's a pretty good idea. Let me try that. Find a chapter, Kewanee, Illinois. So let me do that. Let me see if there's one in that area. Now, Kewanee is a smaller area in Illinois. Okay, so boom. It's not one directly in Kewanee, but the nearest one is, let me look at that. What's this one? As I'm looking through this, Peoria, Moline. Moline would be the closest one. So there we go. That's perfect. Oh, visit chapter. No, I don't want to visit the chapter. I want to look for view website. Oh, there's no members. No, no members, not Novembers. For that one, but that's okay. We can go back here and look at the other ones that were in that neck of the woods. Okay. So that's a great thing to do. Kewanee, Illinois, and that's near that. Let's look at the red dot. Chapter details. 25. All right, that will work. 25 members. That'll work. Let's see if there's a residential real estate. Donna Arnold. That is awesome. I'm going to click on here. Get my email address. Subject, Kewanee, Illinois REO. Looking for a realtor to help me with a REO that my company has taken back in Kewanee, Illinois. 3-bedroom, 1 bath, 1,300 square foot. Online values are in the mid-30s. I don't know if you know an investor or someone who might be interested. In the mid-teens. Rent rate is in the 700, 800 range. So that's the thing. I'm going to put that there. Give my phone number. Boom, boom, shakalaka. Boom, done. That's all submitted. I'm not a robot. And send message. And I just found a realtor there, hopefully, that you can find somebody for me, refer it all out. And that's easier. Now, in the past, we've talked about using Active Rain as a great place. That's not as easy to use as this is, I found out to be. So I'm really kind of liking this aspect of things. So there you go, everybody. Great way for you to use this tool website to help you out. And and maybe, just maybe, it can help save you some time, money, or help you make some time and money back by being able to use stuff in one-stop shop like that for the most part. So go out, check it out, make sure to use it, and we'll see you all at the top, everybody. Enjoy. Bye.